Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Madison Square Garden, the world's #1 sports and entertainment center, for tonight's 10-round heavyweight main event, sanctioned and supervised by the New York State Athletic Commission, Jack Prenderville, chairman. Your judges for the main event, Harold Letterman and Tony Castellano. The timekeeper is Fred Abatello. Counting for the knockdowns at the bell is Johnny Lobianco. And your referee for tonight's 10-round heavyweight main event is Tony Perez. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the principals in tonight's 10-round heavyweight main event. In the corner to my left, he hails from Los Angeles, California. He wears dark blue trunks trimmed in white. He weighs 225 pounds. Here is the former WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Ken Norton. His opponent in the corner to my right, undefeated in 24 professional fights with 21 knockouts. He hails from Huntington, New York, 225¼ pounds. He's decked out in all green with white and red stripes. Gentleman, Gerry Cooney. 10 rounds, final contest of the evening.
Important thing, my command break, stop punching and stop back. If you score a knockdown, I want you to go to the farthest neutral corner, stay there until I tell you to come out, right? 3 knockdowns in 1 round will end the fight. Now 40 seconds. The bell will not save anybody from being knocked out, right? If a fight is on the floor, please don't come in. That calls for disqualification. I hate to do that. So stay away. Wait till the fighter gets up, then you can help him, all right? Any questions? Shake hands. Good luck to both of you.
Well, Ray Norton in his introduction borrowing a little something from the Sugar Ray Leonard playbook and doing a little dance and a little series of jabs as you look at the tail of the tape. Norton, 11 years the senior of Gerry Cooney, 6'6" to 6'3", big height advantage. The weight is just about comparable. So is the reach and all the other measurements. Round 1 underway. Norton on the right, Cooney on the left. The tactics of Ken Norton in the early rounds will be interesting to say the least. Whether he decides to pace himself, whether he decides to go after the #1 challenger. 10 rounds, 3 knockdown rule is in effect. The bell cannot save either man. A right hand buckled the knees of Norton by Gerry Cooney. First punch of the fight buckled Norton's knee. Left hand to the stomach, and another right hand to the side of the head of Norton, who stands on the ropes. Left hand to the heart by Cooney. Norton bangs away now at Cooney in Norton's corner. And another left hand scores it again. The legs of Norton wobble. Norton is hurt in his own corner. Cooney trying to measure. Misses 2 uppercuts, but scores with combinations of left stands. Norton straight up. Norton is about to drop. Norton is on his knees and finally slumps in the corner. He is not going to get up from this. The fight is over in 54 seconds. And if there was ever any doubt as to the punching power of Gerry Cooney, Ray Leonard, I think that doubt was put to bed right here.
Right. Cooney went out and did pretty much what I expected, but that was very dangerous when he was able to deliver 5, 6 blows, and the referee just stood there. I think the referee should have started the fight a lot sooner.
Norton was almost in a position where he was unable to fall down. He was kind of in a lodged position in his own corner. His knees never did touch, and so Cooney, of course, doing the right thing by just continuing to punch. But I think you make a very good point in that Tony Perez may have considered stepping in a little bit sooner than he did. Norton was out on his feet. Norton is still on the floor in his own corner. The first punch that hurt was the first punch of the fight, and it was a right hand that caught Ken Norton right on the side of the head.
Well, I was going to make a comment earlier about Gerry Cooney not having his respiration on his body, that he had not warmed up. But as we can see, he didn't need to warm up because he possessed so much strength. And I'm pretty sure this is going to silence a lot of the critics that Cooney has one hand.
Well, I don't think there was any question about it. Right from the start of the fight, Cooney hurt Norton with the first punch. Now, I don't know. You may have to go back and you say, was Norton really prepared for this fight? Because the first punch of the fight buckled his knees.
Well, I'm quite sure Ken Norton was prepared for the fight. In fact, he's been in the ring with some of the all-time greats, and he knows what happens when you get into the ring unprepared. Ken Norton was in tip-top shape, and I'm quite sure he will give Cooney credit.
Now, you and I have had a chance to watch some of the great heavyweights. We've watched Larry Holmes together. Just off the top of your head, how would you compare a Gerry Cooney right now with a Larry Holmes?
Well, Larry Holmes still has so much more physical attributes. Holmes can move, Holmes can punch, Holmes has a good jab. Whereas that, we really, I think, be very curious to see what Gerry Cooney can do with a guy that is mobile and really a good technician like Larry Holmes.
Well, of course, tonight is a great indication of the punching power of Gerry Cooney. There's no question about that. As far as stamina, how far he can go, what he would do against a champion like Larry Holmes, that still remains to be seen.
That's true, but what he exemplified tonight, I'm quite sure he's in the back of a lot of people's minds.
Right now they have brought a stretcher into the ring to deal with Ken Norton, who is just now getting to his feet. There's no question that Ken Norton was literally out on his feet. We will try to get a report and give you a medical report on Ken Norton just as soon as that becomes available.
The punches that was delivered by Cooney and the leverage and balance that he had with him, I'm quite sure, I can almost say a guarantee that Norton, God forbid, has a concussion.
I think you can see that Ken Norton is conscious. He is sitting on his stool now. Commotion reigning all over the ring. More people in the ring, I think, than in the house here at Madison Square Garden. Gerry Cooney acknowledging some of the photographers standing up at the ringside. Acknowledging the crowd. He was unquestionably the crowd favorite. I think everybody, just looking at the people around here, Ray, everybody has kind of a shocked expression on their face that the thing ended as quickly as it did.
Know when to go.
We're up in the ring now.
Gerry, how early in that round did you hurt him?
Well, I hit him with a straight right hand, and I saw him back up along the ropes. So Victor told me to be cautious at all times, and if I see my openings to go in and work as planned. Victor was training for I don't know how long, up in the Concord and New York here training, and told me the right thing.
Do you feel in some way, Gerry, that the quickness of this fight, excuse me, robs you in some way? That people will say that Ken Norton just couldn't fight anymore?
Doesn't matter to me anymore. I have my people here, my fans. We train hard. Mike Jones, Dennis Rappaport, Victor Valley, and myself. All right, we just love him, that's all.
All right, what is next? Is Mike Weaver next for the WBA championship?
Look to my managers, Mike Jones and Dennis Rappaport and Victor
All right,
Valley.
Mike Jones here is nodding and saying that Mike Weaver will be your next opponent for the heavyweight championship. Would you explain to our audience why Mike Weaver instead of Larry Holmes?
Well, since I turned professional, I just do the fighting. My managers do the managing. My man here, Victor, gets me in shape. I just leave it that way.
Well, they must be doing a perfect job so far. Dennis Rappaport, would you tell us why is he fighting Mike Weaver instead of Larry Holmes?
We really didn't have a choice. Our first preference would have been Holmes. Holmes has refused to fight Cooney, in spite of what he said to the media, where he verbalizes one thing, but in fact, in truth, when it came time to sign a contract, he refused to, they never signed. King was supposed to get back to us 3 months ago. Me and Mike called him several times, never got back to us. After a meeting where we were supposed to sign a contract.
Are you concerned that the critics will say, well, he's beaten another fighter of the 70s, he's now going a total of about 4 or 5 rounds with fighters in the 70s, but he hasn't fought a good young fighter yet?
Larry, if at the end of Gerry's career, he never goes more than 2 rounds, thank the Lord, and we'll be very happy. It'll prove that he's the greatest fighter of all time. Let the cynics ask the same questions when he's heavyweight champion of the world, because that's his destiny, the championship of the world.
Thank you very much. I'll be back in a few moments. I'm going to try to reach Ken Norton. Back to ring.